What's going on, guys? It's your boy CMB back in the building, back with another video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Now, guys, so let's get into this really quickly. We're talking about your boy Canelo Alvarez, and I guess we're talking about David Benavidez as well. Now, you guys know we're just coming off of the fight weekend. Canelo Alvarez faces WBC mandatory Avenue Durham, and a lot of people were upset about that fight. Fans, people who aren't fans of Canelo Alvarez, the boxing media. Canelo's been getting the business since that fight, guys. And Avenue Durham's performance in that fight was absolutely atrocious, guys. It was terrible. Why would you come to a fight of that caliber with the you're facing the face of boxing, and you come in there with a performance like that? He was basically a punching bag, barely threw his hands, and then he quit after the third round. So a lot of people were upset. You know, a lot of people probably spent money on this, and they felt cheated out of it. And it was so bad that the WBC came out and apologized for it. So, like I said, he's been getting a lot of heat. He was getting some heat before this. I remember Timothy Bradley saying something about the type of opponents that Canelo Alvarez faces. And then after the fight, Teddy Atlas said something about, Canelo Alvarez needs better opponents. And I actually did a video on that. Now, and I invite you guys to go, make sure you go check that video out, by the way. And now we have David Benavidez. I have the article pulled up here. He's saying that Canelo will probably vacate his WBC title without fighting him. So he's getting it from all directions, guys. Now, to recap my last video, like I said, I invite you guys to go check it out. But I'll recap it here. I was willing to give Canelo Alvarez the benefit of the doubt. I said he faced Callum Smith in December, who was a champion. That's where he won the vacant WBC title, the WBA super title. And he turned around 2 months later, fought Avenue Durham. I was looking at it as maybe a stay busy fight, a little soft touch. And the only reason I gave him that benefit of the doubt, because I know he's facing two champions this year, because his goal is to become undisputed at 168. He's facing Billy Joe Saunders in May, and Caleb Plant in September. So he's got two big fights ahead of him. Those two guys have the type of styles that give Canelo Alvarez trouble. Slick fighters, on your toes, working behind the jab. Canelo's always had problems with fighters like that. Floyd Mayweather and Lara, they gave him a lot of trouble, and he lost to Mayweather. But with all that being said, guys, don't get it twisted. Canelo Alvarez must face David Benavidez. He must face David Benavidez to gain the respect of his compadres, his fans, his naysayers, and people who doubt him. He's got to face David Benavidez. David Benavidez is a Mexican monster at 168, and you just can't just ignore him. Or there's always going to be rumblings. People are always going to say Canelo Alvarez duck David Benavidez. So he has to fight David Benavidez. And it's the same thing with Charlo. He's got to face Charlo before he retires. Charlo as well, he must face David Benavidez. He said he would knock David Benavidez out. He said he would break his neck. Charlo's got to face that as well. So I'm not leaving him out. Both of those guys are going to have to see David Benavidez sooner or later. Now, I know David Benavidez, he put himself in this position with losing the title on the scale. He would have been in a better position to fight Canelo Alvarez, but let's face it, he lost the title because he didn't make weight. But like I said, Canelo's gonna have to see him, because I don't think people are going to stay on his neck about this. if he doesn't. Even after fighting Billy Joe Saunders and Caleb Plant. And I'm not saying he just runs through these two guys. Uh, you know, those are gonna be tough fights for him. I know a lot of people already put the cart before the horse. They have Canelo winning this fight, both of those fights, but you just never know, guys. I'm sure they're gonna come prepared for this. This is a huge opportunity for both of these guys, and they know Canelo's weaknesses. They know slick fighters such as themselves on their toes, working behind their jab, moving around the ring. They know that gives Canelo problems. I'm sure they know that, and they're gonna get sharp before the fight. But anyway, guys, I wanted to read some of this stuff that David Benavidez said about Canelo vacating the title. So I'm going to pull this article up here. Okay, let's see. It says Benavidez believes that Canelo will vacate his WBC title once he completes his goal of becoming the undisputed 168-pound champion in 2021. If Canelo doesn't vacate, Benavidez says he will have the WBC make him the franchise champion so that he's not required to make title defenses. The WBC has already done this for Canelo once before, so it's a simple matter of him asking the organization. Canelo has 2 fights against WBO champion Billy Joe Saunders. Okay, we talked about that, and Caleb Plant. So now that that's out in the open, and everybody, and that's what Benavidez thinks that they're going to do. They can't do that now because, like I said, it's going to look like a duck move, and it won't benefit Canelo Alvarez. So he's got to face David Benavidez, guys. He's got to do it. David Benavidez, he's a scary guy, but if you're going to be the face of boxing, you're going to have to face tough competition. I mean, there's no way around it. And not to saying that David Benavidez can beat Canelo Alvarez, but this is what the fans want to see. So, I don't know if I agree with David Benavidez as of now, saying that Canelo is going to vacate. We're just going to have to wait and see. I don't want to say that Canelo's ducking just yet. I don't want to say that yet. He hasn't really even mentioned David Benavidez, so we're just going to have to wait and see. Maybe David Benavidez is right. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's wrong. But like I said, we're just going to have to wait and see. He's fighting 2 champions. Let's deal with that first. Then we'll deal with the Charlo and the David Benavidez issue after that. Like I said, Canelo's a young guy. He's got a lot of years left in the sport of boxing. And Charlo and David, they're young guys as well. They're not going anywhere. I'm sure all 3 of these guys are going to have to see each other sooner or later. So tell me what you think about this in the comment section, guys. Do you think Canelo Alvarez is afraid of David Benavidez? Do you think this fight will happen? Do you think Charlo and David Benavidez needs to get it on as well? Let me know in the comment section, guys. It's the CMB. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And I'm out. Peace.